Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. Shoves him away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Coming off a career-high 388 yards last week, Blake Bortles bringing out the Jags. He also threw 2 touchdowns in that win for the Jags over the Jets, Charles. So pretty good week for Mr. Bortles.
Man, what does his teammate Jalen Ramsey call it? Playoff Blake? When they get playoff Blake performing, they're awfully tough to beat because of their defense. Jags are now 3-1 for the first time since 2007. The only concern is they go on the road to take on Kansas City next week. Leonard Fournette, their star running back, had 11 carries for 30 yards against the Jets, but he retweaked his hamstring. We'll see if he's available next week.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the second-year man, Patrick Mahomes, taking over for Alex Smith here in 2018 as the KC starter.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they bring him along. You know, a lot of people say, well, do you have some training wheels on a young quarterback? But Patrick Mahomes is at his best when he's a little bit more of a freewheeling guy who can use his big arm to get the ball downfield. I suspect the Chiefs are going to lean towards letting him go.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. The tight end, Kelsey, was the intended target.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On second down, here's Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. And Lambo will put this one through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Sammy Watkins, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
Definitely in the running for the title of best receiving tight end in the NFL today is Travis Kelce, because he can do it all. 83 catches for over 1,000 yards last year, but they can split him out wide like a wide receiver, utilize him like a running back when they run him inside on some shovel passes, and then when he catches the ball downfield, often turns it into big plays and even bigger yardage.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
I'm putting a spotlight on Jalen Ramsey, who was an All-Pro for the first time in 2017 at cornerback. But I remember him coming out of Florida State, and people couldn't decide, was he a safety? Was he a corner? Did you use him at both spots? His ability to diagnose plays, his ability to control receivers at the line of scrimmage at his size and then run with them downfield, I think he's going to be a fixture in the Pro Bowl for years to come.
Here we go. Green, 90.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. He was looking for Watkins that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out come the Jags. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
Now the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. After the penalty, it's Fournette. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 11. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 42 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 3rd down, that's Hunt, and he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's a close game here early on, and we're back to Arrowhead after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Hunt. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Green 90.
This is Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 90.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the kick by Butker is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And his throw here's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A handoff to Fournette. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Chris Jones on the stop.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now Leonard Fournette. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. From midfield, here's Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration and throw people for losses.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Fournette on the counter. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Wide open receiver complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Last year, the Jags had 18 rushing touchdowns, 9 by Fournette, and he's back there on 2nd and goal. They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Bortles to throw. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Now Bortles. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
With that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Here we go now. Green 39.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out leveraging the offense.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 20. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, green 80. Green 80.
Bortles now on 1st down. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Green 80.
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. They keep it with Yeldon on first down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Bortles. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Timeout offense.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Go, blue 45, blue 45.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
A yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run again with Hunt. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. The Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They begin with a run by Fournette. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is taken around the 12. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot, that they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Now the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go.
Mahomes now to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So they get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing is Bortles toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Bortles. And he's got Moncrief.
A big third down play there for the Jags. 41 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 25-yard line. A handoff, Fournette running left. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 9-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Ready. Green, 39.
They run again with Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that 1st down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles trying the option to the right. And holding it, maybe the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Let's go, let's go. Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Looking long for Westbrook. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gain of 31 on third down. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Green 80.
Now Fournette. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Green 80.
On play action, it's Bortles. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. And it'll bring up third down. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles going to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go. Blue 45.
Now it's Hunt. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Right back to him on first down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Green 80. Green 80.
They go play action here on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now here comes Kansas City, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Hunt gets it on the draw from Mahomes. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They run with Hunt. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They go play fake. Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And Butker able to put this one through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Green 80. Green 80.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Chiefs are going to get him. D. Ford. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he will find his man on the outside. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Green 80.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Set. Green 80.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Set. Green 80.
Bortles to throw on second down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Shotgun now for Bortles. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Ready! Blue 45! Blue 45!
Mahomes to throw on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Watkins. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. On target over the middle of the hill. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Green 39. Green 39.
Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Green 80. Green 80.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Fournette, a first down carry. So we got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Bortles now on the option left side. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Set. Green 80. Green is on.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs and mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in a position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
After reviewing the play, the line on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. His throw is going to be incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and it's second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
He'll look to throw. And able to find Conley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
To throw is Mahomes. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw. Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Green 80.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.